All right, Becca, we're going to have a little bit of fun. I want to get your opinion on a pitch deck. And I picked this pitch deck because I think we could probably relate on many levels. But we do this because I want the founders to experience what it's like to have other people look at your pitch deck than just Ed. I think what happens is people say, oh, Ed's the most obnoxious guy when it comes to pitch decks. Let's keep sending our pitch decks to Ed. But I'm only one person. And so getting this perspective, I appreciate all the founders who've ever sent in your pitch decks. If you have a pitch deck that you want to send in, if you're part of Startups.com, we'll review it for free as part of your membership. But if you're not part of Startups.com, we'll take it and turn it into a piece of content. But you're going to get some feedback from amazing advisors and other people like Becca. But I want to show this pitch deck and just get your reactions to it, and then I'll give a play-by-play commentary. It'd be kind of like, I don't know if you watch football, but there's always like the guy who just calls the regular plays, and there's always someone who just adds in the technical analysis and adds in the color and makes it exciting. That's going to be you, Becca. You're going to make this exciting. I'll just give the straight play-by-play. All right, so the first deck, the one that we're looking at today, is Sneeko, and it says order laundry from nearby laundromats and get delivery within 2 to 4 hours. What's your immediate impression on this?
I'm a little confused by the description. Order laundry from nearby laundromats and get delivery within 2 to 4 hours. So order laundry, I don't really know. Does that mean they're going to come pick up my dirty laundry and wash it for me and deliver it to me? I'm a little confused.
That's right. Okay, so that's great feedback. So let's clarify this opening statement, and it's like, get your clothes washed and picked up, delivered by local laundromats in 2 to 4 hours, something along those lines.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Let's take a look at this. So the problem statement, I like that it's brief with one sentence up at the top. Independent living individuals in tier 1 and tier 2 cities. This, by the way, I believe is in India, which is where they, like I know in China, they classify cities tier 1 and tier 2. I think they do it in India as well. I know this isn't in North America, but I'm curious actually what it would be like in North America, or even if it exists. But it says here, independent living individuals in tier 1 and tier 2 cities like corporate professional students struggle getting laundries done due to no doorstep delivery, zero access to multiple laundries, 4 to 7 days long service periods.
I mean, I think that the language could be smoother, just to sort of be a little more clear. I think I understand the problem, but I just think that I would structure this a little bit differently. I'd like to see maybe a visual with instead of the no doorstep delivery zero, and this is where you and I might differ.
Sure.
I'd like to see something that shows me somebody struggling, like one of these corporate professionals and students. This is where I actually would prefer to see one of those people, because I would probably say, oh yeah, I've been there, or I've seen that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with creating empathy when it comes to your user, 100%. I liken this to a startup that I was advising last year, and it was about delivery for ethnic foods. And it wasn't just like your grocery, like vegetables. It was like ready to cook stuff that was kits, but it was all ethnic. And I said, who uses this? And how do you get your margins and stuff? And they said, Ed, engineers that get hired and they're flown in and they live here and they're from India and they want home cooking and they make a ton of money, but they live downtown. They probably don't have a car. Parking's expensive. So they'll pay for delivery because it makes sense for them. And I said, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So we need to quantify that. In this case, what I would say is if you could figure out the problem statement and say how many professional students or what percentage want to do laundry, but they can't because they don't have access. Just straightforward. I think that would go a lot better instead of solving multiple problems, because a problem could be it takes 4 to 7 days to do laundry and we make it better. Okay, that's one problem. Like you don't have access or they don't want it. Like just explain what the problem is. And we have zero access to multiple laundries. Well, just say straightforward, like just like a food desert or, grocery store desert. It's like they don't have access and they would pay for it, and just be super clear of it and, struggle to get laundries done due to, just say how many there are and this is what they want. All right.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one. Okay. Next. So Sneeko, laundry delivery, last minute, last hour. Sneeko. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to say right now, just get rid of that. Get rid of this right here. Everyone, you don't have to put the marketing slogan and all this stuff. So just get rid of this here. Okay.
That could be on the cover page. That could be the tagline.
Sure. Yeah. Things like that. Right. But here, let's focus on this. Sneeko is an app based on an online platform. Okay, that's language. So you just say it's an app that enables users to order laundry from multiple nearby laundry outlets and get doorstep pickup to deliver within 2 to 4 hours. Okay, so let's rephrase this just so that we can critique it a little better. Let's imagine it says Sneeko is an app that allows users to have their laundry picked up and done by local laundromats within 2 to 4 hours.
Exactly. Done.
Okay.
picked up, done, and delivered within 2 to 4 hours. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
just boom, boom, boom.
And if that's all that was on this solution slide, that'd be good enough for you, Becca? Like you understand it?
It would be under, yeah, I'd be fine with that. I mean, I would maybe put a graphic, but that's personal preference.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, so that's great. I like that it's succinct. This is one of the more succinct decks that we have been looking at. So let's move in. So you go problem, solution, and then unique selling proposition. Okay, now here's where you lose us right away because I'm not going to read this.
I'm not going to read this.
Yes. So let's just say, all right, so to this founder, your unique selling proposition is going to be baked into everything, right? So you've already said instant pickup delivery, or like all this stuff. I don't know what this means. Let's just take this slide out and move along here. I don't think this slide is going to help you as far as presenting to an investor because you saw our immediate reaction. Me and Becca. Actually, Becca, talk to us about your immediate reaction to a slide that looks like this.
It's too much. I don't want to read it. It's the font is small. There's, different colors being used. I just don't want to use it. I also don't use acronyms at the top unless I've already explained what I'm talking, like the USP. I would actually spell that out because until you have used it in full form, I wouldn't then use the abbreviated. So that's number one.
Yeah, you're taking for granted that they would know, and you're potentially causing some friction. So just overall, like you see, we don't look at slides with walls of text and small text, and the burden is on the sender. This is what Ryan Rattan was saying the other day. Burden is on the sender, not on the reader. So the burden is on the founder, not on the investor to understand the slide. Okay, moving along. Okay, so this is a product. This has got pictures, which is great. So it's got interface. So it says the product mobile app. So it says enable location and view nearby laundries. Available laundry display to choose. So you pick it up, you pick one, choose the desired service.
Yeah. Pretty straightforward. This is my favorite slide so far.
Okay, great. And this from a user perspective. Now, I just going to say, this is where I have a little bit of a problem. So I have a little cognitive dissonance here. Whenever someone tells me, makes me a promise, like, I don't know about you, Becca, but if someone says instant delivery, instant pickup and delivery, I go, okay, if you could pull that off, awesome, but I don't believe you until you can prove it to me. So what I'm missing on this product slide, or I'm hoping it comes later on, this is just what I'm thinking is, how does the laundromat get this and make sure and have the capacity and all these things? Like, what have you done to make sure these laundromats are on board with you? Like, we have a flower company, delivery company, and they just do a better job at delivering flowers and making sure that it's not standardized bouquets, like custom stuff. And I asked them that very question. They said, oh yeah, we made a deal with the florist and we understand we actually provide the supplies and the material and we're part of their supply chain. So they ensure that quality. That's what I'm thinking right away when someone makes a big promise. Becca, what do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that goes to the slide before where I think you have to clarify that this is a mobile app for an individual user that needs to do laundry, but there are also probably benefits for these laundromats, which you can go into later in the deck. But
Yes.
I think you kind of have to set up like who participates in this app that I have.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's good. So now we got the mobile app. So it continues on. Now, this is where you could have had all this in one slide if you designed it, but we are adding close to the basket, view summary, checkout order successfully placed. Great. I like that customer journey. I'd say put it on one slide if you can. So here's the business model. This is how we make money. We take 20% commission on total cart value from all vendors. And it's got all this information relevant to India, I believe. I think that, Becca, I don't know what your thought is, but you could have just said this right at the top.
Yeah.
We take 20%.
I agree. Yeah.
Right? Okay. So let's do that. Now, we're running out of time, but let me just look at these other slides here. Market size validation. So the TAM, global retail laundry market size. All right. So I'm just going to go into this real quick. That's not your TAM. All right. This is not your TAM. This is a top down. That's not your TAM. That could be all sorts of things, dry cleaning, this and that, like detergent, coin laundries, etc. So you want to do it bottom up. I'm just going to be very clear as founder. Figure out bottom up analysis and how many potential users have and multiply that by how much they're going to charge or how many laundromats are going to use the service times, how many people you think are going to use their service and how much money you think you're going to make. And then you've got the Indian market, which is great. That's fine. I understand. Same analysis. And then SOM, this is where you're jumping the shark because this is expression. Your SOM is, this is what we realistically believe that we can make if we execute our business plan, within a period of time. And you're saying you realistically believe you can make $9 billion, right? I'm immediately checked out. Becca, this will be the last comment to you. What are your comments on a slide like this?
Yeah, it's not reality. So I think the SAM number, the 20 billion, that's really the TAM because I think you're operating in India. So that's really where you're going to be able to, That's the TAM in my view. I think the SAM is kind of the tier 1 and tier 2 and 3 cities, or the cities where you're going to have your focus, whatever I guess that number becomes. And then I think the SOM is really quantifying that 17 to 35. What's that population? Is that 10 million, 100 million people? And then what percentage of it do you think you can actually try to target based on income or locations and things like that? So that's going to be a much lower number, but it's way more realistic.
There you have it.